What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about improvement and the best improvements in the NBA. Of course, last season you had Victor Oladipo win the most improved player because he turned into an absolute superstar for the Indiana Pacers. One of the biggest jumps in NBA history for a player to improve that much in one summer. And with the Lakers adding LeBron James to their team, everyone's talking about Brandon Ingram because he made a huge jump from his rookie year to his second year, and everyone's expecting him to be even better in his third year. And so far in the preseason, he has shown it. But this video is not about Brandon Ingram at all. In fact, this video is about the improvement of Jaylen Brown, the Celtics' young star, one of the rising stars in the league today. Nobody talks about him, and I feel like he should. He should be very talked about. Jaylen Brown is a hidden gem in that 2016 draft, and he's amazing. Jaylen Brown was one of the top prospects coming out of high school, and he decided to commit to California with other freshman superstar Ivan Rabb. But Jaylen Brown is special. Everyone thought he was going to be the next NBA superstar. Well, not superstar, but next NBA All-Star. And he did really well in college, putting up 14.6 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2 assists in his freshman year. And of course, he was a one and done. And to add to that, a 65% free throw percentage and a decent 43 field goal percentage. And a really poor 29% from 3. And that was one of the biggest things about Jaylen Brown. And in his draft profile, his NBA comparison was Jason Richardson and Jimmy Butler. And everyone said the same thing. He was an athletic freak. He could jump out of the gym. He can finish above the rim really well. And he has the potential to be a great two-way player. And all the knocks on him saying his shot selection is an issue, he cannot shoot the 3 ball to save his life, he turns the ball over too much, he needs to improve on the defensive end, etc., etc. And he went into his rookie year putting up decent numbers, and in 17 minutes per game, he put up 6.5 points, 0.2 blocks, 0.4 steals, just under 1 assist, and 2.8 rebounds per game, and improving his free throw percentage to a 68.5%. His 3-point percentage went up to 34%, but that was only on 1.7 3-pointers attempted per game, which is a decent amount, nearly 2 per game. That's okay, especially for someone who's a non-3-point shooter. A 45.5 field goal percentage, a 50.8 effective field goal percentage. He had a really well rookie year in limited minutes. But do you want really well playing from your number 3 overall pick, or do you want star potential? And in his second season, he did just that. Moving up to 30.7 minutes per game, he moved it up to 14.5 points, 0.4 blocks, 1 steal, 1.6 assists, and 4.9 rebounds per game on a 64.4% free throw percentage, 39.5 3-point percentage, and you're all probably saying 39 is okay. I mean, it's not the best. He still can improve, but that was on 4.5 3-pointers attempted per game. That is insane. 4.5 3-pointers attempted. And he was shooting 39.5% from 3, nearly 40%. Also improved to a really good 46.5 field goal percentage and an amazing 54% effective field goals percentage. And in 30 minutes, he only averaged 1.8 turnovers per game. That is insane. And just to make you guys look even more, his plus and minus per 100 possessions on the court in his rookie year was a negative 2.1. In his second year last season, a positive 7.5. That is a huge jump. And in his rookie year, he played 74% of his time on the floor at the small forward position and only 26% at the power forward. That's pretty good for a rookie. But then last year, he played at the point guard spot for 2%, 51% at shooting guard, 45% at small forward, and 3% at power forward. For a guy who's 6'5 or 6'6, maybe even 6'7, I really don't think he's 6'7, that is amazing. To play 4 of the 5 positions on the floor is just phenomenal. And sure, you're going to look at him and say he didn't play that much at those positions, but to have that much versatility carry over from your first season, putting in that much work, is special. And other things to look at, his value over replacement player. He went from a negative 0.7 to a positive 1. His box plus minus, negative 4, down to a negative 0.2. His win shares had 1.5 in his rookie season, and then had 4.5 last year. His usage percentage went from an 18% up to a 21.4%. His turnover percentage went from a 2.5, he brought that down to a 12.0. Steal percentage went from a 1.3 to a 1.6. His assist percentage went from a 7.2 to an 8.5. His true shooting percentage was a 53.9% in his rookie year, and last year he raised it to a 56.2%. And his PER, player efficiency rating, he had a 10.3 in his rookie year, and last year made it a 13.6. Just phenomenal stuff. Just to improve that greatly. And now let's look at the playoffs, what he did in the playoffs. In his rookie year, he averaged 5 points, 0.1 blocks, 0.4 steals, 0.8 assists, 2.1 rebounds on 66.7 free throw percentage, 21.7 3-point percentage, which is horrible, 47.9 field goal percentage, and a 51.4 effective field goal percentage. And that is not very good. and the Celtics played 17 playoff games in his rookie year. And now let's look at last year, his second season in the playoffs. He was phenomenal. He led the Celtics with Jason Tatum. He averaged 18 points a game with 0.6 blocks, 0.8 steals, 1.4 assists, and 4.8 rebounds on a 64% free throw percentage, a 39.3% 3-point percentage, and he even shot more. He shot 6.2 3-pointers per game. That is insane. That is way more than what he did in the regular season. And he still averaged around 39%, 39.5%. He had a 46.6 field goal percentage on 14.8 field goals attempted per game. That is crazy efficiency. And that even shows it in the efficient field goal percentage with the 54.9%, basically a 55%. And then in the playoffs, his value over replacement player went from a negative 0.1 to a positive 0.4. Win shares in his rookie year only had 0.1. Last year, 1.3. He had a 19.4 usage rating or percentage up to a 24.6. Had a block percentage of 0.8 brought up to a 1.5. Had a true shooting percentage of 53.9% brought up to a 56.3%, and his PER in the playoffs went from a 10.6 to 16. And to show he even went through more of an upbringing, the 3 defenders in the league who allowed the lowest field goal percentage allowed on a contested shot last year. The number 1 player was Anthony Davis, one of the best defensive players in the game, with only allowing a 36.6%. Kevin Durant was second with a 37.4%. And third, it was Jaylen Brown only allowing 37.7% field goal percentage on a contested shot. Not only did he improve his offensive game, and he lowered his turnovers, improved his scoring, his shot creating, his playmaking, his defense. He improved his defense greatly, getting nearly a steal a game and being number 3 on the lowest field goal percentage allowed on a contested shot, behind 2 of the best players in the NBA today. To me, this is just something that needs to be talked about more. I am definitely not saying Jaylen Brown deserved the most improved player, because Victor Oladipo clearly deserved it more. It's just Jaylen Brown needs to be recognized more by the NBA. So thank you guys all for watching this video. Please leave a like, subscribe for more content.